competition. Yeah.
Well, you know, two people already here in Brazil, so it would be easy.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. For sure. All right. Okay. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to hop on. But guys, we have basically we've been super busy like hooking up basically a whole bunch of new skills. One of the big things that we're working on right now is like we're trying to automate our company very highly. So we've been like working on all these skills, what basically is almost like a employee or the Matrix. If you guys saw my like post today, it's like all you're doing is like downloading, a specialized skill that can go to action right away. So I want to chat about that really quickly. And then one of the things that we're going to be doing is actually, sharing these skills together, which I think is going to be like a game changer. It's going to be like really cool. So what up, Guto? What up, Guto? Be back. What up, Sasha? What's going on, guys? What's
What's
up? What
up?
up, Frank?
I'm reading.
Hi, it's pronounced good to be back.
Good to
Gutenberg.
good to be back. Good to be back. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did I hear
Awesome.
that you're coming to Miami, by the way?
Yeah, I am. I am. I'll be in Miami maybe the beginning of September-ish. So I have to be there by the 6th because like we're doing like a presentation to like a bunch of actually Brazilians, actually, as a matter of fact, a whole bunch of Brazilians. So they're coming in through like Billionaires Miami and
It's a
I'm gonna be
sign.
yeah. Who
Wait,
knows?
who's Brazilian on here?
We got two Brazilians on here.
Well, I'm not
Cat-
Brazilian. I just happen to live here. But
we got
Catherine's
two
Brazilian.
we got two people in Brazil that yeah.
Where in Brazil?
We are in
Um,
Rio.
yeah, we're in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, okay, cool. Been
Rio.
there once. Nice.
Yeah, I do need to go to Rio at some point in time. I need to
I
visit.
used to be I used to be part Brazilian. I used to do a lot of capoeira, and
Oh, I'm sure you still
I used
have it
to
in
hang out.
you. I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, I have it in me somewhere buried under the subcutaneous fat. But but yeah, it was fun. It was a big part of my life for many years. I used to hang out with Brazilians all the time. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're amazing people. So lovely.
Have you
Yeah,
been to Bahia?
Of course, Bahia is my favorite state.
Good, good.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah. So Matt, remember how you were talking about I'm glad that you're on the call because
Okay. Thanks.
we've been
Good to be
setting
back.
up like a bunch of skills, and I've been going ham as hell on the skill side. I had created like over like 100 GPTs basically for myself, my company, if I wanted to just do something. So I'm transferring some of that knowledge over to like the skill side. And I have some
Yeah.
pretty gangster skills that are coming out, right? And
Okay.
Matt, your idea before was on the website front, but I'm like, man, this is like, I want us to start sharing like skills. I mean, I don't know if anyone here is doing skills. Like,
Wait,
Matt,
what
have
was
you?
my idea before? I don't even know what my idea
Your idea
was.
was to go onto GitHub and for us to be able to share like repositories and maybe like sites or something like that for us to work on it. You know, remember this was probably like a couple months ago, maybe 3 months.
Well, I hate GitHub. That's the first thing. But Git itself is great, and GitHub's the most popular thing. So,
Yeah.
like I don't know, I just generally think if it's somewhat useful to share this stuff, but honestly, the other aspect of this is the AI can usually just figure out everything it needs anyway. It's almost like you don't even really need to share anything. And I bored Jonathan to death. He's gone. So,
That, what?
John,
You
you got.
bored me to death with
I
this
was just
stuff?
saying,
No.
like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm sort of, I'm, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, okay, what's your idea now then?
Okay. So here's the thing. Okay, so for how many people here are actually doing skills? Like,
Like generating skills.
yeah, like making skills, like making actual skills, like through Codex, Hermes, OpenClaw, Claude Code. Is anyone doing
Well, I
that
did, I
at the
did
moment?
create, I created a skill a long time ago for Claude which for Claude, like it was Claude Hub, and This is a long time ago, and what it let you do was it let you use a little marketplace I created, and it was my idea of marketing. So that's all I've done
Mm.
really.
It was like what, like a marketing skill?
No, it was like the idea was I was gonna make it so that all the Claude bots knew how to use my project. Uh,
Mm.
but I launched it, and it turned out that I don't think any of them cared to use my project, although they knew how.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what I've done so far with skills.
exactly, exactly. All right, so Franny, I know Zane obviously does, Umair does. Franny, have you done a skill? Alicia, have you done skills? Catherine, Sasha, have you guys ever done any skills or even know what it is?
I
No.
feel like maybe.
Okay,
No
so you
clue.
guys haven't,
I've
you
been
guys
building
haven't.
things in Codex, but that's about it. Like I haven't
Good.
expanded past the basics.
Okay, good, 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 good. Like it's an important time to know about it because like skills have actually existed for a pretty long time now. Like how long now, guys? Like a year and a half, maybe? Like, do you guys remember, Matt, like when skills first came out? Like probably a year and a half ago, right?
Well, I haven't been using that
Yeah.
before this year. Like
Yeah, I
it's
really wasn't doing it.
early
I was creating
ideas.
like GPTs and like we created like AIs. But like now
Yeah.
like skills are kind of like becoming they kind of like take on a persona of their own and I'm gonna like show you guys a few things that I've been able to do, which is like after this whole network school shutdown thing, like the next 48 hours after that, while everyone's like worried as hell if we're gonna get kicked out of the country and everything, I actually spent time just building a bunch of stuff. I don't know how I was more productive in those 48 hours than probably forever. Like I don't know, I was able to create so
Well,
much, but it's because
must be
I've been
like a
creating the
hurricane, isn't it? Must be like when a hurricane comes through and you're like, well, something's gonna happen. May as well do something else.
yeah. I was more like I was just like I'm taking this time to because there's no classes right here at the network school. What it is like there everyone hosts their own classes. There was over 400 people here. It was freaking badass. The network state model is amazing, but the whole skills thing now is like it's taken on like a whole different, let's just say like it's a whole different level of like what you're able to do and it's almost like you could give the person you could give not just the personality, not just some really cool stuff, but like what you can actually do is like download jujitsu, karate, like whatever skill that you want to do. And I'm just going to show you guys a few things so you guys get an idea of like what's happening because it's very important. The thing is, I want people to start sharing. So we did make we made so on GitHub is just a place that can hold your code. You can transfer it between like let's say if I'm using Replit and I have it exact, I'll show you an example right now. This is how we kind of like first started using it. So kind of like I have World Cup Aura on here, 24-hour clipping. These are just a couple different sites that we had that, you can either make them public, which means everybody can look at it. If it's not public, you could share it between these different systems that you use. Sasha, like you could share it between Codex, and then if you want to use like Claude Code or something, then you could basically do that too, which is pretty cool. But what I've been doing is basically developing some skills. Like I probably have like, I don't know, 20, 25 skills now. I haven't put them all up. But I did just create, let's let this get up. I did just create like a way for you to upload your skills. And I don't know what's going on here, why it's not working. But basically, I created a repository for public skills. And these public skills give you the ability to be able to share with others, right? I don't have a lot on here yet. So basically, this is the one where it's a create a public skill. I have basically my own security AI. So basically, in the future, I think it's going to be extremely important to protect yourself. So this skill is literally made to like be viewing my computer because I've given it full access. Okay, everything that everyone said not to do is like do not give it access to your own. Don't give it access to your computer. And we actually were teaching that before. I said, fuck it. I'm like, I have right now, Hermes has access to my computer, Codex has access. I'm just like making sure I don't have any wallets in there. I'm making sure that everything is kind of like on the cloud. Obviously, things like GitHub help because if you actually put something on GitHub and someone comes and hacks you, you can revert back, right? So you can actually revert back, which is like an important component, right? Same thing with Google stuff. Google stuff, you can always revert back if something happens. But what I did realize there was a couple guys here from what is the name of the thing? It's like they're called Vibe Code Nights or something. They're from San Francisco, and they're like, I was already on the way to doing that, but they just made it more clear. They're like, guys, like, there's a couple prompts that you could use. One of them is like YOLO, but basically it'll take over your computer and do everything that you want, and it'll get everything done. Like it'll just code something in order to finish it. And I've kind of like taken on that persona now where it's like, okay, what is the worst that could happen? Okay, I get hacked, they get a whole bunch of my pictures, whatever. I'm just making that it's not going to be that bad instead of using a virtual private server. And it's made me move significantly faster. Like the amount of things that I'm able to do now is just, it used to be like 10x. Like I literally feel now it's like 20 to 50x. And there's the guy that just raised, I forget how much money he raised, like 60 million, 80 million or something. He's the solo builder founder that he just raised that money and he has like a $250 million valuation and he's like a solo founder. He was talking about it too. He was like, companies that are not at least 80, 90% agent run, they're gonna like come up to people that, are running this agents and running these different systems. And I think skills is very important. So one of the things that I want to do is like I just want to find more people. And by the way, so Justice just came out here. Justice, what up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you here. I think
Yeah, bro. I'm actually on the road, but I just felt like it's good to hop by and like kind of
hell
like
yeah.
share knowledge. How
Yeah.
is
Cool.
everyone doing?
That's a cool name, man. I like your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I, I'm
Just
Very cool.
is
I'm
that your real
actually
name, Justice? Justice, is that your real name? Justice Prince, is that real?
yeah. So actually, I have six names, but I just showed two.
That's the short. Okay, I got I think Justice, have you've created skills in the past, right? You've done skills, you've been working on skills in the past
Oh yeah,
for now?
I create skills, but most importantly, I create like orchestration, right? So I know how to manage context window, like multi-agent infrastructure, scale Hermes, scale like I can basically take Hermes and like scale it like everyone in the world without like any infrastructure cost. In fact, I think this you and I were talking about a product I'm building, right? But then I have like let's say one that I have done. It's basically like I'm almost done with it. Basically, it's like kind of bring your own API keys, and then we can just set up like a way for businesses to like connect their OneDrive, connect like their Slack, and then basically like it's for them. So basically, it's kind of like they can put their whole company brain into the system. I think that currently that's what is like currently like in demand. It's kind of like you go to let's say we all can do this kind of like maybe next week I'll demo it, right, but kind of like we all like can call companies and tell them that okay in 1 week we can build an uh, intelligence layer for you whereby you can connect like all your current systems like your OneDrive, Google Drive, everything, put in all your files, all your videos, everything, like give your AI that intelligence, and then
This is the
everybody
knowledge base, like the knowledge base.
exactly, and now right now everyone in the team, it's kind of like you know what everyone is doing, and now you have an AI agent as an employee that can have context in your company, can give like reports, can generate like slides, can do anything for you, like in just like a prompt. I think that would be very valuable for like so many companies because most companies actually generate a lot of like reports. They want to know what's happening in their company day to day, and if you can give them like that kind of like AI layer whereby like as
Like
a
a command center that tells you everything that you have going on in the company.
yes, and then it can also do stuff for you basically. So I think that would be great. Like that's something that like I was doing in parallel with like what I showed you in network school. So maybe next
Yeah,
week
yeah. Justice,
I'll
do us
demo
a
that.
favor. Tell everyone real quick. Just Justice was someone that I met. Actually, he was just here with us. He was actually here while we got shut down by the Malaysian government. It was a ride, right? So Justice,
Yeah.
tell them a little bit. Just give super brief, be super brief, and just say like a little bit of your background and what you're working on, and then also, if you could talk about that product that you basically had, the other one where you can basically be found by AI. Because I think like out of all the products that
Okay,
you
okay,
have,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, yeah. So give us
Okay.
a little short intro of like who you are and how you got into the network school actually. Short.
Okay, okay. So there's the short version is I have like close a decade, maybe you can even call it a decade because it will be a decade by the end of the year. Like a decade of technical experience, like spanning through from robotics. So I began doing robotics as early as 14, 15, right? Winning competitions in my local school and actually, I did geophysics in college, so I'm like completely like hands-on like software guy, but like everything else was like self-taught. But then I have like this kind of like physics background, so I have a very strong math background. But I got into network school fast forward by winning a Coinbase global competition. Um, I've worked with the Graph protocol. It's basically a company in the US. We build infrastructure for like indexing data on the blockchain. I've built cryptography systems. So I was into AI and like cryptography basically in the fintech space for the past like close a decade. And currently in like network school, I got into like building like it began from building compliance for agents, and then we saw that okay, basically what's happening is that people want discoverability, right? People want to be discovered. Currently, we have so many people using AI agents on Claude, um, like Open Claude, like all these AI agents, like uh, harnesses, right? So the idea is that we want to make you discover there, and you can pay for paywall services without like having to subscribe monthly subscriptions. You can just pay as you go, and then basically like uh, anything that outside world does for you is cryptographically verified. So there's that compliance infrastructure behind the product, and that's basically what we are working on, trying to launch it this month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just very interested. Basically, one of the things that Justice was telling me that he was building, because he was telling me the different things that he was doing, and I'm like, the thing is, Justice is extremely technical, ridiculously technical.
Yeah, I
We would
can
love
hear
to have a
that.
conversation.
I can
You
hear
can
that.
hear, right? So
Justice
Justice
is a
is
very
very
smart
technical.
and
So
technical person.
say it again.
He's a very smart and technical person. I can hear that.
Yes, yes,
Thank
exactly,
you.
exactly. So the thing is, technicality is not going to get you places, right? It could get you a certain place, and you could build some really cool stuff. But the issue is, anyone could build anything. It's getting way too easy to build anything. So the most important thing is like having something, having an offer that people can literally buy and that is going to give value, right? So and if you know how to market it, if you can figure out how to get distribution, that's like one of the key components. To me, that's like one of the most important things right now is to get distribution.
What's the
Actually,
idea of his that you like,
So
John?
the one idea that I like of Justin's is that basically he could there's something that he could do with the API of your company and get you found on ChatGPT and Claude. And as we all know, that's like one of the biggest opportunities if you could get found through chat system.
That is big, yeah. That's because like who's going to be bothering to search in 2 years? No one.
Yeah. Who's
So
like who's going to search? You're gonna just be having your agent. Like I'm literally doing most of the stuff I'm doing now is literally in Codex and inside of like Hermes, right? Like everything I'm doing
how does
now.
that work, Justice? How does that work? That project John's talking about.
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. So basically, we have like a way, right, whereby we give every person who wants to sell their product. It's kind of like think of it like this, right? You are selling your product, you are selling your knowledge, right? And then we make that an agent, right? And then now it's now like two agents now talking to each other. So the person who wants to discover you has their claw, so that's their agent. And now you also have an agent also on our end, and now two agents are basically talking to each other. So basically that's how it works. So we basically make you an agent and make the other person who has an agent talk to you, like talk to your agent.
How do you control what? Let's say, for example, you know, let's say someone's running ChatGPT or Claude, or like something that talks to ChatGPT or Claude, like a Claude bot or Hermes or something. How do you get their agent to talk to the agent of the person who's selling shoes? for example.
Yeah, exactly right. So basically, it's kind of like we take your current uh legacy system, or we take like your current knowledge base, and then we make an agent out of that. But then basically it's
Yes.
kind of like behind the scenes is basically an agentic like orchestration, like with several AI layer like primitives and cryptographic primitives that allow both of it to communicate in a secure manner.
Right. Well, I get that it can communicate with it, but like, how do you make sure that like how do you get ChatGPT or let's just use Chat. I don't know if this works or it has to be Hermes or it has to be something specific, but how do you get ChatGPT when someone's asking a question on ChatGPT? How do you get it to care about about the agent that you create for this person who sells shoes or sells whatever?
Oh, okay. So then, basically, what's happening is that there's a custom connector that you connect, right? And then when you connect that custom connector, you have access to all the things you need to access that are now agents, like in the outside world. So that's if you are using your open claw, your Hermes, everything, you have that custom connector that gives you access to that whole infrastructure. So basically, that's how it works behind the scenes.
So here's how I
I don't
understood it.
understand. Honestly, I don't understand that explanation so
Yeah,
far, but it's an interesting idea.
yeah, so this is where Justice, I've been telling you that like you talk about the technicalities very hardcore, but you got to
Yeah.
break it down into simple form. So like how I saw it, I don't know if you guys are familiar with MailChimp, and I don't know if you guys remember why they got so popular. Like I don't know if they had like $100 million valuation or whatever it was. MailChimp was so popular because they were the first really like good, let's not call them really good, but I'll say
Mhm.
good email service that gave you 5,000 contacts for free. Okay, what I'm
Yeah.
seeing because I use Replit, I'm using what's it called a lot now, Emergent. Believe it or not, Emergent is fucking dope. If you want to build your own website and stuff like that. And one of the things that I do a lot is that as I'm building something, and let's say I need an email client, because as you guys know, I built I don't know how many freaking websites slash apps, like 12 to 15 of them at this point in time. I'm not gonna go and get an account for each one. Like I can't, that's crazy expense for something that I don't know is going to work, and there's a good chance it's not going to work, right? So what it does is it finds a client that is doing something like, let's say, an email service that does it for free. So it goes and it says, hey, these are your three options. Do you want this company that's free? Do you want this company that's 10.99 a month? Do you want this company that's 49.99 a month? Obviously, I'm like, give me the free one. I don't even know what the fuck the company is, but I'm like, I want the free one. Okay, so how I see that this could work is if you have a service or if you're
Yeah.
doing something, you basically give it for free in the beginning stages. And then from there, basically, once, let's say if it's MailChimp as an example, once I'm using MailChimp, I'm using it like crazy. My whole orchestration is done with using MailChimp and I have all my flows in it. Once I get to 5,000 people, and now let's say the next level's like 19.99, 20.99, what am I going to do? Am I going to go and switch out of them? No, I'll probably just pay for it. So the way I'm looking at it is like if you do anything, if you have like a free service to a certain degree, for example, another great one is what's the analytics one, guys? Zane, I think maybe you know what the analytics one is called.
Like mixed panel and
That's one of them.
yeah,
It's
those kinds of things. That's what you're
yeah,
talking about,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, basically, it's like an analytics platform that does it for free. And then once you do a certain amount of calls per month, then they start to charge you. So like that's basically a new model that I think is very important. That's why Justice, I'm thinking like, you building that, if you could say, hey, our job is to whatever business you have, whatever service you have, we're going to be able to find you more people. This is how we've done it for this company and this company. For
Do
example,
you,
like
do
one
That
of the
that
you know
sounds
what's
to me
funny?
like a non-technical solution. Like that doesn't sound like you need any specific implementation. You could just create a little web page that describes the offer and just try and get SEO or something like that, right? And then
Yeah,
that
but
way you
instead of SEO, exactly. Instead of SEO, basically you're figuring out a way that the agents are going to be able to find, or the conversations that you're having are going to be able to find that you're going to be able to get found, I'm sorry, in the pool of a gajillion companies coming out. Because like you could
Yeah,
build anything now, right? You could build too many damn things, if anything. And if you
yeah, and
can't,
that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering is what is that part? Like that sounds like that doesn't sound like a infrastructure problem. It doesn't sound, I mean, it might be just an it's how do you get
it's
in
like
front of the
SEO.
eyes of
It's like a different version
yeah,
of SEO. That's what it
yeah,
is. And like the thing is, if you know how to position yourself, for example, I was telling I was telling what's it, Justice, sorry. I was telling
Yeah.
Justice that I'm like, dude, help me get some attention. If this works, how do we do 24-hour clipping? I don't know why some of my sites are not popping up, like my connectivity is super sucky over here right now. But anyways, 24-hour clipping is a site that we built in a hackathon. Actually, Justice was in that hackathon also. And it's a platform to allow people to, find let's say, for example, a clipper, right? Like you could come in here, you could find a clipper in a certain amount of time. You could get basically people bidding on your project. You pick them, you have 24 hours. So like I would love to be found for people looking for clippers because clipping is like huge right now, except I have zero SEO. SEO is going to take months to get going. But if
Mhm.
you do proper
Yeah.
AI based SEO or GEO, basically you get found very quickly, right? So
right.
like that justice, my thoughts are that you definitely have to like, position it like that, get a few people results, right? Even if you have to go do
Yeah.
free services. Obviously, I'm biased to you helping me out for no cost.
Me too. I'm also biased in that way. So
So look, Justice,
let's go.
does anyone else want to get free traffic to their sites or services? Anyone else?
Yes, please.
Mute everyone quick, John. We want to be the only two.
Yeah, what? Of
So you
course.
see, but Justice, let's just say I don't know how much work it takes to set this up. Okay, so pretend you do have
Okay.
the system. You have a bunch of people, and by the way, we have way less people now because like our entire like we have our what is it, Maris? She's like on maternity leave right now, and I fucked up like all the flows, and she usually does it. So it's like I'm fixing it all because I'm using agents to be able to put out all the information that I'm putting out for these. But there's not that many people here, but there's enough people to help you get products and get results. Because if you could get
Yeah.
results, then that's all that matters. Then you could get people to actually pay you money. Does that make sense,
Yeah.
Justice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I think we can like next week I'll basically like onboard all of you, and then we can basically work around like us getting the SEO juice out of the agent.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
That
Because think
would be
about it. If
fantastic. If you can do that, man, that's amazing. Because I don't know anyone who wouldn't take that. Yeah,
yeah.
it's also like every town, every village has like somebody who knows SEO. It's such an old skill, but like
Dude,
this,
huge skill.
doing this for AI would be just incredible, and everyone wants it.
Yeah. I think currently they are even more sophisticated. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
next week. So the idea is not just for you to onboard like your products. The basic thing is for you to be like for anything to be discovered. So maybe it can end up like Jonathan wants to sell his brain. So he dumps his brain, he dumps all his videos, he dumps everything somewhere. And now he has an agent brain, right? And then somebody can be talking to Claude and can be like, I want to be good at marketing, right? And then he like suggests like, okay, talk to Jonathan's brain. And then Jonathan has like a fee like for every single token that his agent gives out, he charges maybe let's say 5 cents. And now Jonathan is making money from his brain, and he just sits down. And then when the person now wants to talk to Jonathan, the person can book a call directly from Claude, and you know whether you want to have that call with the person. The person can pay, let's say, your consulting fees just like instantly. So it basically like not just about products, like be able to discover like even people's like expertise. The thing is that
Well, that's
currently,
well, well that's a good segue right now because that's what we're doing with skills, by the way. So let me explain really quickly. I know we'll go off on tangents and stuff like that, but Justice, let's talk about that, and like let's implement it for next week. Like, get that thing working. And I don't know how we can tell also that it's actually working. We'd have to figure out like how it's working so that you can get.
We can't, is the
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, that's why I'm like, you do have to figure out. Well, I know that you can because my little brother, Julian, he is literally, I gotta get him on this call next time. So I definitely got to make sure he's coming on. But one of the big components that they built their entire company, that's a 9-figure a year company, was based on SEO. And they track stuff. And then they were tracking, they're like, we're getting people from ChatGPT. And he's like, holy shit, like every day they were getting, I don't know, it was like 20, 30 leads and they were closing people. So they were making money. So he saw it so quickly, he went and hired a full-time AI SEO guy. And now they have an entire department. Okay, just to show you guys, they have an entire department and they're literally moving towards, obviously they still do SEO heavy, but and that's their main thing, how they make money. They're one of the few companies that doesn't do any outbound stuff, which is insane. They literally do
Yeah.
inbound only, and then they buy domains just so that they could get the traffic. And he figured out a way to do it. So hopefully, I'll bring him on and we could collaborate on this because that could be good. But back to your point, Justice, about downloading your skills. I mean, your brain or whatever it is. This is what I think skills is going to be, and this is why I think this is very important. And I would love for all of us to start figuring out. I'm even wondering if what you're doing could actually be a skill. Okay, so like that could be one that you could potentially sell. Okay, so me myself, I'm adding publicly right now some that I probably would not in the future. I'm going to charge for these. So like what I'm doing is I'm going to create skills just as you see right here. Okay, like
Okay.
this is my own public repo. Okay, for now, I'll read this to you guys just so you get an idea of like what I'm trying to do with this. And I think that everyone should start doing this, and it's actually getting so easy that it's not that hard once you know how to do it. Okay, so obviously, I'm the digital frontiersman. I came back from the future. This is a public arsenal of practical AI skills for exponential creators building the one person army. So if you're a person that wants to be a one person army, like this is the way that you could come into my matrix. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something else that I built, and it's also an opportunity. For example, like what you're building, Justice. Let's say that you turn that into a skill. Like, hey, this is the AI SEO skill that you get your agent to download and he starts implementing, I don't know I don't even know how it works, so I can't even like go into it deeper, but he's going to help you get more traffic to your website,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Okay. And
Makes sense.
I could go in here, I could download it, and then basically, boom, you could charge money for it, right? Like that's something I know for damn sure people are going to spend money on because as long as it works, right? So as long as it works, it
Yeah.
does it. Okay. So, anyways, look, this is
Yeah.
just my interpretation. Welcome to the skills matrix. Okay. In the matrix, knowledge could be downloaded instantly, right? A new language, a new fighting skill, a new capability, a skill that makes an idea real. The mission is to 100 to 1000x. So literally that's my mission is I'm going to be able to 100 to 1000x what I was able to do just a few years ago. Okay. That's like my big thing. It's a field kit for the digital frontier, hence why digital frontiersman. But check this out. So I created an actual skill called a create public skill. So I'm going to put this in the chat because all you guys should follow me, right? Follow me on here so you can get these things for free. By the way, these public ones that I have here, they won't be free forever. So like be my guest and download everything. And like every time I have one in here, download the skills because I'm gonna actually start charging for these. And basically, as I add all these different skills inside here, you can do it. And I created a skill that shows you exactly how to add it so you don't have to know shit. So now that I have this create public skill, basically this will help you upload something that you know that is a little bit different. Justice, yours could be that. I know Umair, are you there by any chance? Or Zane, like you could maybe like mention a couple skills that you guys are building at the moment, if you're there, Umair.
I don't see him. See you
Yeah,
here?
I'm
Oh,
here.
collector.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, guys?
Dude,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
always
here.
so silent. You got me and John blabbing 20 minutes, not a word from you.
I'm learning from you guys. That's why I'm silent.
Oh, sure. All right.
Yeah, Umair, like
Uh,
mention some skills that you're working on, because Umair's
yeah,
been
my
working on.
my skills, the skills, because I use Hermes a lot. John uses Codex a lot. So John skills primarily are for Codex, or can be replicated into Hermes too. That's not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
problem.
So,
Like,
and
but
when I made
yeah,
these for clarity, when I made these to be for any Cloud
yeah,
Code
Yeah.
OpenClaw, Hermes. Yeah.
So these skills can be used. So the skills came in I believe 2025 last year. Claude introduced those, and now we have different versions of those skills when they came out. And the ones that I use is primarily for my Hermes because I work via Hermes mostly. My Codex is connected with Hermes, so every task that I do is like through that. And every skill, so it's way easier in Hermes. And my day-to-day tasks are anything that I want to automate, I get it done first, step by step by Hermes, and ask it to develop a skill and learn it, put it inside the skill set. So it does. So I don't have to do anything manually. So it's super simple. With Hermes, you don't have to do anything. Just go step by step any process that you do. For example, I have this workflow done where if I want to create any creative, I have showed it. So what I did initially, I showed it some of the workflows of how to do different sorts of social media posts, be it reels, videos, or images. I showed few examples. I gave it some prompts, and then every prompt, every skill got a name and got associated with it. Then I told it like in every time that I'm gonna ask you to create me a social media post or reel, just list down these questions one by one. So whenever I ask it to create a social media post, it takes me through it. So it asks me for the models, what model do I want it for, and what other comments do I have, step by step. So that's one skill, and then eventually it does, and then it lists down when the image comes out. Then it asks me to create it asks me if I want a video. I say yes. Then it gives me a list of, hey, you have 6, 7 types of videos that you can create. Then I say, okay, do me 7. And then it asks for this is my direction, blah, blah, blah. I say yes. And then it does it for me. It goes to Xfield. My Xfield is connected to Hermes. So, and then creates a video. So it's one of the skills. Another skill is that every content piece that I write, I have already given it um, my style of copy and the collective style of copy. And every time I tell it to write it, so it asks me whether it's for you or for the collective overall. I just give it that, and then it changes its own style of writing, and then it adapts that style and writes whatever copy that I want to write it down, whether it's a GHL email or my email replies that it sent to people. So those kind of small skills I have implemented. Then I have other workflows which are predominantly for my own personal use. So yeah, that's what I have done so far with my skills. And as we go along, I have more skills being added because it is learning how I operate, how I need things and do things, and then it keeps on learning it, and whatever it learns about me, it converts into a skill. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'll give you guys an example now too of so I started building a classroom. It was basically to go into our school classroom to teach people about different things. And I came up with one called wild mode. Okay, I gave you guys this one wild mode also last time. So it's a really cool prompt that basically makes any advertisement that you make like really hit. And like I discovered it by accident, just by like I kept saying, hey, go wild, go unhinged, specific verbiage. And then I started getting crazy results. So I was like, fuck, I got to turn this into a course because like people gotta learn this, right? And yeah, Justice, we'll have a recording. We will have a recording. So one of the things that I did, I'm like, hey, use wild mode and go ahead and help me create this course with wild mode. So I turned wild mode on. I turned it into a skill also. And it basically said to me, it's like, hey, can you record? So I have it, and I've also taught both my Codex and Hermes to speak very much like myself, and then also to be very self-autonomous. So it said to me, it said, hey, can you record a video? And I said, I'm like, okay. I was like, damn, this is pretty forward, but all right. I'm like, I could do it tomorrow. So I said, I don't have time. Do you mind if I go into the HeyGen account and create some, because it has all my memory, right? It's like, can I go ahead and create the video? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, like go do it. So basically now I created a skill. This is a super badass fucking skill. I'm gonna definitely be selling this. Maybe I'll let it out loose at first for free and then get some testing and then I'm gonna charge people for it. But basically, it created a video. So the first one it did was actually, let me see if it's Wavo. So this is the first one. These are a bunch of videos that it started with over here. It started doing the videos. But just to show you guys like how does it actually work, let me show you one of the videos actually. So this is my AI. I did zero. Okay, let me explain to you. Zero scripting. The idea, this is like this idea, I didn't even have this idea. Basically, it said we're gonna build because it knows my patterns and knows stuff I talk about. It has my memory, has my context, and it did one called Vibe Build. So it's basically building an offer page yourself. This is the video that the AI built. Okay. The AI did this. I didn't touch it. I didn't do the script. I didn't even have the idea for the lesson. This is what it came up with. And just to show you guys like how advanced it is, just check this out. Okay.
Vibe Build, Lesson 1, your 5-line offer. Before you build a page, make your offer clear. Answer 5 questions in 1 line each. Who is it for? What problem do they have? What result do they want? How do you help? And what should they do next? That is it. Do not write a long bio. Do not try to sound smart. A stranger should be able to read your 5 lines and say what you sell. Take 2 minutes, write those 5 lines, then use them in the power prompt.
All right. So you guys see all those lower thirds, all that, the actual visual effects. I didn't tell it to do any of that. Okay? None of that. It did it on its own. Just to give you guys an idea of like how crazy this shit is starting to get. All right. So literally it's now creating courses for me. My skill basically allows 1 time a week. It basically will create its own. If I don't get back to it, it'll ask me, hey, these are the ideas. If I don't get back to it, it does it on its own. Okay, so this one was one that I didn't get back to it and it built it on its own. And it basically has a thing called Vibe Build, where it's the killer offer and teaches you how to put it into Replit, Lovable, any of these other, shoot, even Codex could probably do it too. Codex or Claude Code or Hermes. So I was able to do it. So just to give you guys an idea why I've been like so obsessed with the skill stuff now is because it's doing something that like I would have to pay someone. Now, the branding is not super on point, right? But it's not bad. It's not bad. So it's definitely a game changer, and this is just one of the skills that I was able to put together. I'll show you guys really quickly another one right here. So I've been basically working with I'm going to turn this into a skill, but we're doing our new website for living websites in the orb. And then this whole entire thing, I was using Soul for most of the stuff to be able to do it, but it was able to create some really cool stuff. Like once you start learning how to prompt it, I'm basically doing the job of what a like professional editor would do. And I just had a vision. I had this picture of this gentleman right here, because we're going to talk about commerce versus like today versus the commerce of yesterday. And then it takes you through a storyline. I picked this guy because he had a really cool face, right? I picked this one because it's obviously about barter. You're able to sell things. I saw this, it knew about the orb. I didn't even ask it to do the orb. And I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. And this gave me basically the idea on how we're going to build the website. And then little by little, I started to get to the theme of how it's going to be. Here's like basically how it's going to look on the website, et cetera, et cetera. And then boom, I did character consistency because obviously you can do character consistency. This is the character, one of the merchants. The orb itself, this is what you would call a element. Let's see what else. You have this one. This is the character, but in the future, a little bit like, a little bit of how he is, like what he looks like, Middle Eastern man. This guy that he could be, European, Spanish, or even white. Him in the future, et cetera, et cetera. So then what I did is I asked, I'm like, hey, I want to make a seed dance prompt. So if you guys haven't been seeing what's going on, Seed Dance has had a lot of really cool stuff going on. They basically are about to come out. For those of you that want to do any marketing and advertisement, and as we keep saying, obviously it's one of the most important things. Seed Dance 2.0, they just had a contest. So we had a bunch of free iterations because it's quite expensive doing some of the stuff. And then here goes one video. Let me show you guys a video that we just did. Let me see. Let me see if I show you this one. Let's see. So this is the video that it came up with the prompt, right? Yeah. Hold on, let me show it. So the prompt is like a merchant, a guy shakes a hand with this guy. Look how good this stuff is. Boom, and it takes them to like another world. And I was able to just create that just from like knowing what I want to do. So like the game is now changed because like now you can do these things. And guess what I'm going to do when I'm done? I'm going to turn it into a skill. And now I'll be able to make like, let's say commercials, websites, mood boards, because this is kind of like what it is right here. It's like a mood board that I was creating going through with it, and it was able to do it. So this is my plan. And then this is where I want you guys to get enrolled into this part now. Like once I start putting all these things together, because we're obviously doing different skills ourselves at the moment. And one of the things that I want to do is I want us, let me share my screen again. What I want us to do
So,
is,
John,
yeah.
so sorry. Yeah, well, anyway, just it popped into my head, so I'm just blurting it out. But
Yeah.
this seems like is it called Gumtree?
Gumroad.
Gumroad. Gumroad's a Gumtree.
Yeah, what is Gumroad? Gumroad, I thought it was like a payment gateway. I'm not 100%
Well,
sure.
Gumroad is basically for like if you're an influencer or something like that, or you have some sort of following, you publish things like articles and they'll do the hosting and you just it has like easy payment methods and stuff built in. And so it's just you'll get like a page that you could share as a link and buy a PDF or something from a creator and you just download it. But seems like this is the equivalent in skills. Like
Yeah,
like
I
you
mean the
sell
thing is you could build anything. This is the thing, like so this is what I would like to accomplish. And I feel like, because when we do these vibe coding madness, when me, Matt, and Umair were like, okay, let's go do this vibe coding madness thing, we just love working together. So that's like one of the real reasons that we did it. But we're like, all right, let's open it up for like anyone else that wants to come in here. Hold on.
Hi, it's
Like anyone else that wants to come in here, but the point was to be able to build, right? But at the same time, it's like it now is evolving into something different, and like these skills, Matt, let's just say, for example, you start, building some dope skills. I'm building some dope skills, Zane, Umair, Justice, Sasha, Franzine, all you guys basically start building skills. What I would like to do is I would like to put them in a repository that I'm calling the collective. Okay, so there's a collective, hence the collective itself. And inside these repositories, we could basically create skills that we could share with each other. So if we have all these skills that we start doing it, we'll soon be able to have really elite level, way of doing stuff. Like for example, like I have another one
John,
that's
can
like,
you charge for access to this? I mean, obviously GitHub is,
yeah.
you're limited by
So,
what you
well,
do.
no. Yes. I mean, what I do plan on doing, which takes me to my next point. I'm going to take you guys there now, as a matter of fact. I actually inside of the exponential grid, because the thing is, yes, I have stuff that I put so much work and effort, Matt. Like, let's say, for example, you make a skill on how to create, the ZK Uniswap. Like you've been building that crazy product or whatever it is that you've been building. Like you don't want to just give it away for free. Like it's that actually is not valuing yourself. That's not fair. Right. I'm actually I'm going above and beyond and I'm giving a bunch of stuff that I should not for free for now. But my goal is actually to start charging for it. So actually I just created, check this out. So I created an entire page dedicated to skills. Okay, I'm going to show it to you guys right now. It'll take a little bit to load because my internet's slow. So I dedicated, basically, it's going to be called the skills matrix. Okay, so let me show it to you guys really quick. As you guys know, this is the exponential grid. You can put your apps on here, domains on here. We're going to figure out ways to get it going. So check this out here. So this is just on the home page, this skills matrix. You'll be able to browse, download skills, proven expertise, real capabilities, deploy immediately, right? So if I go in here, you could use ChatGPT, Codex, Claude, Claude Code, Gemini, whatever one you want to do it. You go inside of here, press browse. Okay, let's say for example you want to be efficient. I have this the what is it called? The speed demon. I'll put it inside here. If I have something that can help you make money, for example, Justice can definitely have his inside of the revenue and e-commerce, right? Like Matt, maybe yours is like, I don't know, exponential growth, or maybe like you created that agent once upon a time that was doing something. It would go in this area. Let's say I want to, okay, let's go ahead and click on this. Oh shit, I think I got to go to like one of my old ones. Let's see, explore skills. All right, hold on. I got to go here. Sorry, there's like when you're in Replit, you got to like see different places. You can work on the cool thing I like about Replit, which you can't do in Immersion, is you can work on a ton of different things at the same time. So as you can see, I'm working on a bunch of things simultaneously. So I'll just show you like what it looks like, but basically you can download these skills based on anything that is there. So I do intend on charging. So let's say, for example, like obviously we'll have one. And Matt, maybe what you're saying, like maybe we should have ours, like people that come on the Vibe Coding Madness calls in like our inner circle. We'll have like our, I guess a private repository, right? We'll have a private repository where all of us could basically use the skills that we're bringing to the table. And those of you that don't have, let's say, for example, if you guys don't have that right now, if you haven't built it, don't feel bad. That's okay. Like it takes a little bit of time, but once you get it, then it's like it becomes very easy. Because like think about it for a second. Codex, Hermes, Claude Code, all these, you can literally do all this stuff by having your agent do it. Like you don't need to know how any of this stuff works anymore. All right, so check this out, guys. So I built this myself. As you know, I love the matrix, right? There's a cool little thing I added on here. Let's say, for example, we want to do revenue point system here. So the cool thing is like if we start building these skills, okay, so Matt, like think what would be a skill that you would like if to download?
I think making the videos in the style that you showed is a really good skill that I would use.
Would you
So you have
buy
a
it?
nice,
Would you actually buy it?
yeah. I mean, the thing is the pricing is the key, but yeah, I would pay something for it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know
obviously,
what
you'll probably get it. You'll probably get it from me for free, but
no, but I mean, like I'm thinking, like if I was really motivated to get it and it was really expensive, I might just assign my agent build this. But if it's like a reasonable price, I might just buy a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? Like it might kind of be like add this for $1, add this for $10, that kind of thing. And by the time you're done, you spend a few $100s, but you got a whole bunch of skills and you're very happy with it. So
yeah,
I think that makes sense. I'm also thinking,
it also depends
yeah,
how useful it is. Okay, for example, someone that wants to start doing their courses, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and then to do their courses is going to take them, like 50 hours, figure it out. You probably have to pay someone to do it. But if it's done for you, you might pay $500 for that skill. You know what I mean? Like, because it
Yeah,
can automatically.
you might. I'm just also thinking about like the customer is not just I think the main customer is a human, but I don't know how much that's going to change over the next 6 months or something. So I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool if you could also take payments from agents, and if you can make it very small payments, that's good. Like if they could
Yeah.
buy a skill, oh, I want to know how to do this, and you do X402 or something like that, that'd be cool. But anyway,
Yeah. I do
this
plan.
is
I
a
do
great
think
idea.
that. Yeah, not bad, right? Not bad. So like,
Free is better to start anyway. If you do it for free, you'll just get more people knowing about it and
I
using
mean,
it.
yeah, that's why I'm putting my stuff up for free on GitHub just for now to like give some value. And then from there, I'm gonna basically start taking it and then start, putting it inside here. And anything that I put far too much effort into or like I know is insanely valuable, then like maybe I'll have some people in my circles like, test it out and then I'll bring it inside here, make sure it works good, and then you can start selling these. So, this is another place that's going to be viable for all you guys to be able to come in and then look, become a skills architect. And then basically you could go in here and start creating your own skills, this is someone, okay, I'm building that part right now, but you'll be able to build your own skill. It'll have like a little bit of a teaching repository, how to upload the skill. That'll be one that I just give out for free because I don't think most people even know how to put a skill on GitHub. It's like guess what? I built a skill. Look what it says right here, just to give you guys an idea. So I built a skill. So those of you that don't even know how the hell like that even works, then we go to skills here. We go down and then basically create a public skill. Turn a private skill into a safe, complete, intentional public GitHub release. Right? And then boom, you're adding a skill. Just go ahead and do this. And basically this helps you. So if you don't even know how, like some of you guys, like you have a whole bunch of skills that you can create right now that you're not sure what to do with, like boom, here it goes. It helps organize it into a skill or turn it into a skill. And then it uploads it in this format that I made, which I think is pretty awesome. And by the way, I had no idea how this even works. Like I had my agent go do the research and figure out how to upload the skills correctly. I'm like, look at the most popular GitHub skills and the most popular people, and then go create a templated system, and boom, that's how I came up with this. Right?
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's what I think is a good plan, for us to do it. And like I think us building these skills, I think would be really cool. And like now, once your head wraps around it, then it's like, okay, how do we create more of these and like let me try these out? Even if you don't want to build them right now, just use the skills that we have. Right now you could go into my GitHub right now. And then this is one too that you guys should probably, this is really cool. So I created one based on the DeMartini teachings. And Matt, you remember this was like we invited Matt over to the marketer's mansion back in the days. And one of the things that we did was the linking and stacking process, which I think was a good tipping point. And it got Matt probably a lot more clear on what he wanted to create. He wanted to create Pitch Investors Live. He pitched me on it. We became business partners. You remember that, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this skill is you figuring out your values and then doing linking and stacking, which is like hella valuable. All you guys could do that right now, by the way. So if you guys can, so I would say like Alicia, Catherine, Franny, Sasha, and then Matt, if you want to try it out again, like I would suggest you guys go and try to use either Codex or something. Like I know Sasha, you're using Codex now. Like, what are you using Codex for? Like, why did you switch from ChatGPT to Codex? Or do you even know why you switched into it?
Honestly, one of my clients was getting really heavy into AI and I had to learn it. We're redoing a ton of websites really quickly
Hmm.
and that's kind of where we jumped in. So I basically learned it on the fly because I had to.
Interesting. And then you're using it kind of like to redo. Do you have your Codex agent like actually taking action for you, or is it mostly speaking to Codex?
No, it's taking action. Like I'm giving it scripts. It has access to certain folders on my computer, and I haven't gotten to the point where I give full access to anything. I am still kind of weirded out by that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like when it comes to building the websites, it's been super helpful because I basically just dictate and then let it fly.
Yeah, nice, nice. Okay, so
It's
you're
it's
ahead of
helping me. It's
most people.
definitely helping me optimize my time. So
Yes, yes. And the thing is, like, as soon as you start learning about these skills, like, if you do something specific, like, for example, let's say that you're redesigning sites, you're changing things on site, you should turn those into a skill, right? Like, you could literally turn those into a skill. And then from there, you could put them into a GitHub repository for yourself, or obviously it goes into Codex. And then you could call upon that skill every time that you're doing something specific, right? Which is going to help you
yeah.
tremendously. So that's one of the things that we're trying to accomplish here. So cool.
I
It's good
think
that you're
also with what you're saying about the courses, I'm really curious to see how the skills are going to tie into creating courses because I think that's for my consulting business. I think that's going to be key for the next phase of it.
well, look, if you want to do a JV and then I give the skill and we use that skill for like each client, I'm down.
Cool.
And it's like and think about it. Like I know people guys that are charging. Art is one of them actually that come he's usually on this call. Art charges people like between $5,000 to $20,000 to create all their Hey Gen videos and create a course. And this is like a skill that could do it on its own now. And all you have to do is like prompt it and give it a knowledge base or something like that. And be like, all right, create a course. And it'll just
Okay.
literally go and do the whole entire thing. It's fucking crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously you do it for clarity. Like when I did my avatar, already had my avatar. So you do have to create the avatar. It'll be hard for it to do it on its own. It's not going to do it on its own. So like you do have to do it on your own. So
Oh, for Hayden, I already did that.
oh, even better.
Yeah.
You can do it for yourself, which would be even better. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So all right, guys. So any questions? We're here on the hour. It is pretty late out here. We're past midnight. Any questions that you guys have about skills or anything like that at the moment? And Matt, any ideas popping up for you?
I just think in terms of promoting this skills thing, I think the angle is to go with something like a Gumroad, like make
How does, yeah,
a
that's the
U.
thing. Can you look into Gumroad? Like I've also heard of Gumroad and like
I
there's a
mean,
girl.
I've bought things from Gumroad before, like some guys talking on Twitter, and he says, "Oh, you know, he's giving away a bunch of expertise on Twitter, and then he goes like, "Oh, get my course on how to do whatever," and just links to a thing. It usually has a PayPal buy thing on it or a credit card or whatever, and you just buy it and you get a PDF. And, usually, I mean, I don't know, the price is never usually more than a few $100, but I mean, very often it could be like $10 or something. It's just something to get you to buy something and be in his mailing list. But then, if you're giving away skills, I don't think there are many. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think there will be many people selling skills on Gumroad. So this might be like an
Yeah.
angle you could go down, and I don't know exactly
Mm,
how all that shakes out.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
something
that
worth
could be.
thinking about, John.
No,
Could
for
be the
sure. For sure. The thing is,
Gumroad of skills.
yeah, so check this out. I mean, remember, I would love to like give because what I'm thinking about doing is like charging like a 20% commission or something like that. And then maybe we could like give affiliates like another 20%. It's a digital product. To me, like you're supposed to give away 50%. Like if anyone wants me to actually promote their product or if they do if we do an academy or like a webinar, like I take 50% on a digital product. If it's a service, I take 20, 30%. A skill is basically a digital product. So say we're only taking 20%, we give 20, 30% to affiliates. People could just sell these like crazy. Like what if you sell 10,000 units of an insane skill? Like for example, there's some skills that are going hella viral. And you're right, there's not a lot of people, first of all, doing skills at a good level. And then secondly, like who's actually selling these? Like what marketplaces are selling them? Not that many right now, you
Mm.
know? Not that many.
Yeah, and
And the thing is,
you could kind of give a link to, in that DeMartini skill that you got, for example. I mean, that's something that you could get, I don't know, Donna or someone to sell
I
for
don't know. I
like a
guess
cheap.
I don't know that if I sell it, like I don't know if I'm gonna risk the fact of
Well,
DeMartini's.
yeah, you do have that issue, but it doesn't matter. There are a bunch of people doing self-development
Yeah,
stuff.
and actually, so what I did to save myself, and this is actually true. I've put in, I don't know how many sources inside here. If we go inside, let's go inside. So it's kind of what it looks like when you go inside. You don't have to know how it looks like, guys. You could just tell your agent, hey, go to this website, go to Digital Frontiersman's GitHub, go to skills, go download this, and let's start using it. So you don't have to know how it works, but obviously this is the internal stuff. So I actually have inside here, I don't know where it is, but basically, let me see if it's at the very bottom, trust attribution. Okay, references, here we go. All right, here we go. So this is what I did to save myself from getting sued. So, and it's true too, though. So I used a bunch of, even though most of the stuff is DeMartini, there's a bunch of stuff from Aristotle, L. Ron Hubbard, Harry Palmer, Rob James, Ancient Egyptian Mysteries, Manly Pete Hall, everything like that. So like it does have like an amalgamation of much more in it. So that could be a way. And I cite them too, right? So I cite them for being the people that basically helped create this. Um, skill. So theoretically you could. I just don't know how it works with like selling it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also these are also, if someone buys the skill, it's a lead for, in this case, any of those people, you except the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians probably aren't going to pay for a lead,
Yeah, yeah, you're
but
right.
you
You
know
can
what I mean?
resell it. Yeah, you can resell it. And the thing is, I'm also marketing them. I'll probably put like links inside there, which it is. Like you see the links inside here. So they have links directly to what it is, the
Yeah.
sources of where you find their
Yeah,
work.
you could actually have like a note in this skill that says, if the person wants more information on this, they should, you know, they
Yeah,
should be,
contact them, buy something from them, you know. Yeah,
yeah, and here's use this referral code or something like that, you know. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Actually, yeah, referral code. That actually would be better. I should have referral codes to some of this stuff too. Yes, yes, yes. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, yeah, that's the only thing I've got, and I think it's very interesting. But yeah, I think we are close to the hour or past the hour. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, anyways, good seeing you guys. Thank you everyone for coming on. Appreciate y'all. This is the next level. Get your butts learning about this because like this is a huge unlock, and most people are not using it right now. So, all right, y'all.
Thanks so
Have a good
much.
one.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Holla.
see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.